Greetings, y'all. Greetings. Glad tidings. I'm gonna give it a moment. I'm gonna give it a second before I get. I'm also driving, so the signal might interrupt. It might be in and out. The weather a little messy. Well, actually, I like this weather, but you know, it interferes with their technique. And you already know it. Every time we do this outside, they end up doing some old weird overlay on top of when I speak. But greetings, glad tidings to y'all. As always and always, Mësët to you. Before I really get going, I'm going to wait for a second. Let some people come on in. As a matter of fact, hold on one second. Let me share this to the Facebook. Give me one moment, please. We back. All right. Well, I'm sure people will trickle in, and either way, they get to watch it on the rewatch. I just wanted to address something, and wherever the greatest of spirit leads, but I'm gonna address something, and it's not out of defense or anything like that, because at this point, it is what it is. Everybody has their own perception, so you can't get offended at everything everybody says and try to explain yourself to everyone, because the reality of the situation is we can barely make those that are right next to us completely happy, and even then it's pretty much impossible to make them happy all the time, every moment. Not because you're doing anything wrong, not because they're doing anything wrong, because it's called life. Here, it's a wave. Everything here is in the wave form. It's ups and downs, and then it's neutrals. Positive, neutral, negative, neutral. Positive, neutral, negative, neutral. That's actually where they get the tetragrammaton from. Excuse I literally just arose, and I went through my comments and things. So, you know, I haven't even had my coffee yet. Still got stuff clearing things out of my throat. Give me 1 second. Some of this copper water. I know. All my women friends, they get mad at for that beat right there, because I let it go on, and they be like, I can't stand that. So you know what? Here, it'll shut off by itself though, but I will. I don't really like seatbelts, to be honest with you. I don't know. I've been here over 40 years without them, and did it all, been through it all, so I don't care about no seatbelt. Now for my children, it's different, but you know, I'm their seatbelt for real. But anyway, all right. So we'll cut right to it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. Late last night or sometime, I don't know. I made a post on on YouTube, shared it on Facebook about the the false rapture, about how you see yesterday, today, whatever day they said it was, and yeah, everybody just gone, right? A big old event happened, right? No, nothing. That's gonna be the exact same thing with this whole, because now it's known as the Phoenix thing. Before that, before uh, this doctrine was brought online, that's no one called this thing anything. Okay, this is one thing I need y'all to realize. If I make a post, right, and we're not gonna play stupid, we're not gonna act like you don't know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about, and I know who I'm talking about. But this is the thing. In the highest form of truth, I'm not talking about a person. I'm not talking about a soul. That just happens to be, actually, I don't even know if it's a soul, to be honest with you. But it's a being or an entity that just happens to be the provocateur, the progenitor of an illusion, a psyop, a new religion. All right, see ya. So you gotta understand, when I make a post about something, about when I say like the same thing is gonna happen on May 15th, May 16th, 2040, nothing. That's not, it has nothing to do with like against another individual. Okay, this goes back to, I don't want to get all biblical and stuff, but it really does go back to Ephesians 6:12. I don't wrestle against flesh and blood. If it's like that, I'd be out here still boxing people. I'd be out here still laying hands on people. Like, if it was really some kind of problem with me and somebody, I'll show up in Texas on a back road. I don't care. I've done prison and all that stuff. That stuff don't faze me. I don't care about the jailhouse story. Boo-hoo. All right? And especially if you're there for something sexual, then you around here, the tribes over here, it's called an X in your box. And we do status sheet parties. That means when you on the block, you on the tier in a prison, the shot callers is going to yell out, status sheet party, and you got to come down with your status sheet. And if you got something sexual on there, there's an X in the corner of your sheet from being in prison for anything sexual, and you getting laid down on sight. You will not even be able to be in general population, especially if it has to do something with a minor. You will not be able to sit in population. You will be engraved in protective custody with all the other sex offenders for 20 years or however long you was in there. Period. So let's get that clear about the whole prison thing and this and that. So, that doesn't faze I either. So people that's making these comments and this and that, and look, and my thing is, why do so many people get offended when somebody bring up something about archaics, but you don't get offended about nothing else? Somebody could talk about your granny and you won't say nothing back, but if somebody talk about you, people get so offended. So what? And then everybody start throwing. See, we're in a moment right now where if someone doesn't agree with the perception that they have, now it used to be the word crazy that would get thrown around. Now there's a group of people that just throw the word ego around. So they've replaced authenticity with the word ego. You're not looking for authenticity. That means you're not looking for truth. You're looking for somebody that's going to pet you like a little cat, like, and make you purr. And if it don't feel good, then they must be coming out. I must be speaking out the ego right now because I got a little passion, a little intensity, right? Because I'm bringing up facts. That just must be me, the ego, right? Most don't even know what the ego truly is. They'll have to Google it right now. Your lower self. That's that. Most don't know what the ego really is, but they throw the word around. So anytime something is said that might not sit right with your perception, people throw this ego word around or think it's some kind of battle between two individuals. I don't battle individuals. I don't battle anybody. What I do is simply present truth. I do it in the way, in who and what I am. Okay? That is how it comes out. Through who and what I am. So it's going to come out like it comes out. And it's unapologetic. I don't have any apologies for anybody. If you're looking for an apology, or if I'm out of line, I'll give an apology. But someone who is always saying I'm sorry, they probably are sorry. Someone who's always apologizing, the word apology probably doesn't mean too much to them. So I keep my apologies limited and authentic. Okay, so I don't apologize. I'm not apologetic for trying to make sure as many as my brothers and sisters, which are eternal souls, from getting Psyops down into a new religion. Point blank, period. It wouldn't matter if it was T.D. Jakes, Joel Osteen. If I came on here talking about them and saying how they was taking 1,000,000 people down, this way, it wouldn't be too many people that say anything. But because we're on our little corner, this little corner of the internet, yeah, we not, especially in the rising, like anybody, you just getting blocked on sight. I don't even care. I don't, like I said, I'm not, this isn't about defending, anything. This is only to those, who might be confused about the situation, and to those who I truly love. That's what this message is for. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. This video probably won't be for you. That's okay. But people get so offended at certain, when you say certain things. So you got to realize, like I said on the post, the Bible call it principalities, right? You wrestle not against flesh and blood, things in the unseen realm. That just, not to make it not spooky, it just means energy. Energy you can't see. Knowledge is energy because it's light. It's just on a light spectrum that you can't see. It's either too low, extremely low frequency, or it's too high. And it's vibrating so high, it's like a fan spinning real quick. When a fan spins on high, you can see right through it. That's the same as high vibrational information and things. It's light, but it's moving so fast, vibrating so fast, you're seeing right through it like fan blades spinning. That's what it is. Okay, so I don't have anything against an individual. When I see potentially 100,000 people, whatever, because we know if someone's got 200K subs, more than likely 50K are bots, at least. So let's just say, and then we got people, I just know that there's not every body that you see out here is an eternal soul. Okay, some are just animated, spiritual. They're a spirit. It's just spirit energy. It would once this realm is gone, that's pretty much it for a spiritual energy. Can it go to the next place? It can, but we're not. That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother teaching. But what I'm trying to say is, it has nothing to do with I and another individual. It's about information. Okay, information. It wouldn't matter if it's a whole team of people. If it's 30 people working at a building putting out this stuff. If I know where they're at and this and that, and even then, I probably wouldn't say their name. I would just say, hey, if you're familiar with this information, this, and this, and I'm going to let the truth out. If you're offended by truth, then maybe this not where you're supposed to be. And then, I get the people will say, so only you have the truth. I'm not saying that. I'm saying what the message is over here is only you have the truth. Only you have the truth. So unless someone is teaching you to go inward inside of you, then I don't know what they're teaching you. What are they teaching you? They're looking for followers. They're looking for people to idolize them, to take their word as the inerrant word. Listen to the word. I ain't even look at the Great Spirit. Errant. Inerrant word of God. Come on now. Coincidence? They looking for you to take their word as the inerrant word of God. They've become your God. What they say goes. Whatever they say, they can give it to you and you'll think they're a genius. Oh my gosh, this person has put in so much work, read so many books and speaks so good and obtains knowledge so well, like a computer. Red flag. Red flag. And I really don't want to make it personal, but let's just be real. Anybody that knows about, because I mentioned the sacred feminine energy, anybody that knows about archaics really knows. You know that it was said that it's coming out of his mouth. He's never had a dream, ever. Never had a dream. You know what dreams are? That's only through the sacred feminine energy. It's intuition. It's your right brain. It's intuition. It's the Magi nation. You cannot have, if anyone who's never had a dream ever, disconnected from the sacred feminine spirit. That's admitting you're all the way disconnected. You've never had a dream. So I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna get too personal. I'm not gonna sit here and like belittle anyone. But I'm just gonna bring up some facts. Number 2, the whole story about this person that like brought a lot of people in out of empathy and thing was about this motorcycle accident, this NDE, this near death experience, right? I've been dead twice. 7 minutes and then 8 minutes. Heart stopped, no breath, nothing. I was told I was never going to speak again. They told my wife that I probably wouldn't speak again. I wouldn't be able to speak. And if I did, I wouldn't be able to talk right. It took me over a year back to be able to speak how I'm speaking now, and people still think that I'm high or something and on drugs and stuff, because when you go 7 minutes and then 8 minutes without oxygen to your brain, that's what it does. So there are moments where I speak with a slow cadence, a drawn out cadence. So I get a lot of that. Is this dude high? Is this what's going on? Is he is this dude on drugs? But you don't know my backstory, because that's not what I'm here to do. This is not about my personal testimony. I share my testimony through the teachings that I give. I don't have to give out every detail of my experience here. Okay? So, if you know the story about this person that runs this new Ra Legion called Archaics, this person was involved in a near-death experience on a Fat Boy Harley Davidson. Now, out of this person's own mouth, said this was the first time that he felt so connected to everyone around that he was going up to everybody and was so wanted to know about them, wanted to connect with them. You want me to tell you what that was? It was the first time that this person ever experienced connection to the sacred feminine energy. That's all it was. It was the first time they ever felt what the sacred feminine energy feels like. It's when finally it was no longer about me on the big fat boy Harley Davidson. Look at me, yeah, whoop, going down the street. Everybody look at me, just like that South Park episode where all the bikers come through going wah, 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 wah. Like everybody look at me. It was the first moment that this person ever experienced it not being about me. And they were so blown away by it. Okay. This is not coming from I. Came from this person's mouth. If you know, you know. All that is if the person experienced the sacred feminine energy for the first moment ever. The whole story is they was going around to everybody and didn't even feel, I don't know, they said their arm was hanging off or something. Didn't feel that. All they were worried about was so like everyone else. That's called empathy. That's called true connection to the greatest of spirit. So it took them to basically disconnect from their body to feel that, when you're supposed to be in the an eternal being now. Not when you leave your shell. So people that are unable to do this now, that means their flesh, this flesh suit, this technology is stronger than their soul. It's subduing their soul. And we have others, like the people that are running this world, that tap in to the energy of this technology. And this is who we call geniuses and things like that. Okay, people that can harness the pretty much it's masculine energy. It's logic. It's analytical. It's like a computer. It's like a computer. Okay. What I'm gonna tell you is, the whole post was about time and people putting out these dates. All right. And a little deeper, but that was the main thing. Let me tell you something. Time is a wave. All right? It's a perception. There was never in one moment, except now, was there ever a worldwide timekeeping system. Ever. Ever. There was different years just from a couple tribes over. We didn't go by everyone had the same year and all that. Annus Mundi, BC, ACE, whatever, excuse me, CE, BCE, and all that. That's just a little itty bitty handful of systems of timekeeping. That's not anything worldwide. There's native tribes here who have the true cycle of everything that's going on. Let me tell you something right now. If you be live that there's a Nemesis X object, alright, number one, you might as well just go watch Billy Archons, aka Billy Carson, You might as well watch him. You might as well watch. You might as well tap into NASA. You might as well follow people that's looking at solar flares and telling you they're coming from 92 million miles away. Because that's all that is. It's the same doctrine. Okay? Nemesis X, Phoenix, and then if I desired to bring my son on and start editing videos, I can have this fancy little music and play on your heartstrings and make it real dramatic, and I could come on and show you, and I could get on there and narrate and say, in the ancient past, there was said there was a black object seen. I could make it into a whole movie the same way as all these other YouTubers out here. It's just like going into the church, and when the pastor get the hey, and then the little organ come on, go doo doo, and then everybody, and then they start drumming, and then the pastor start going with it and going, hey, come on now, pass that plate around. They start playing on. That's the same thing as these edited videos with the little intro. It's a whole freaking experience that's playing on your sense of feeling, not your five senses. That's an illusion. It's playing on the heartstrings, on your heartstrings. It's chording, it's vibrating your heartstrings. That's what's happening. Give me 1 second. Let me check this. All right, I got 10 minutes. Okay, so. Could I do that? Yeah, I could do that. But then what? I would be a YouTuber. That's what I would be. A full-blown YouTuber out here. Like, share, and subscribe. I got merch, And I don't belittle anyone for selling their merchandise either. Okay? I do use humor at moments to get points across. So what? Because even a good sister said it previously, humor cuts through a lot of indoctrination like a warm knife through butter. Humor has the ability to cut through that. All right, it's one of many tactics that can cut through indoctrination. Humor, because it hits your subconscious. Even if it's not when it's first said, later on it'll hit your subconscious. Okay, so let me be clear. I have nothing against any individual. This is how you know. This is how you know what I'm saying is true right now. People that I don't really care about, I don't talk about. I don't talk about. I don't sit around and talk about people that they don't even cross my mind. I don't give them any energy at all. I don't steam on anything. I don't sit in like, man, I can't stand that goes against everything that I teach. That goes against the law of preservation. That's giving out your energy constantly. It's what the old school saying is, you letting somebody drive your bus. That's what it is. Although, on the flip side, there's many that every time somebody mentions something about someone else's doctrine, and no offense, but everyone has an opinion, an open eye on, okay? Just like you got an open hole at the bottom of, your end gland that excretes, okay? I'm not saying your opinion is crap. I'm just saying everyone got one, okay? So there is quite a lot of people that every time something is said against someone, another doctrine, that they take it personal. They'll throw the word ego around, or like think it's some kind of I don't know, like conflict between two people. Now I can't speak for others, but I can speak for I don't have a conflict against a person. My concern not even conflict, is about when I look up and I see potentially over 100,000 of my brothers and sisters, whether I know you or not, going into a new ride leads and you don't even know it. I would not be doing what I'm here to do if I didn't speak out. So the little backlash I get is nothing to what the greatest of spirit does for I and my those that I love, all that I love, because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And at moments, I there's an old saying I don't want to. It's just the first thing just came to my mind, my ment, is sometimes the right thing to do is punching someone in the mouth. Now, that's not the words if I sat here and thought of a better way to say it, I could. But that's just the first thing because it's an old saying it's actually in our tribe. Okay. Sometimes the right thing to do is actually to punch someone in the mouth. All right. If someone comes up, if a group of people come up right now and you got your 16-year-old daughter and they open the door and they're like, "Oh, you're pretty," and this and that, and they start groping on her, and you yell and tell them, get the heck, yo. I don't know about you, but if like once physical touch happens, there ain't no talking. So dad is gonna get out, and I'm gonna come over there, and someone's getting punched in the mouth, if not all four of them, laid out. And I might do the courtesy of sliding you up against wherever we're at, like a wall, so you can sit with your back against it until you come to. And I'm being serious. I'm not trying to act like I'm tough Tony or none of that. Okay? So we're on the internet. People can say and do and be whoever they want to be. Okay? Want to be. Alright? So when I see that there's information that's given out repetitively, repetition, and it's really just the same thing over and over and over and over. Not once has this person told you to go inward. They're talking about an informed field. Is that something new? That's called your toroid field, beloved. That's ancient. That's old news. It's not something profound. It's just new words being placed on things. Okay? And I'm not even gonna like really go too deep into like pulling cards and all that. But if you want to be real, I'm gonna keep it funky with you. The whole doctrine over in Archaics comes from 2 or 3 books that will never be referenced in front of the audience. Them 2, 3 books that all pretty much the whole little thing comes from will never be referenced over there. You'll get a reference from all 20,000 other books, but you'll never hear about these books, because if you were to read them, you'll see that this person is almost speaking word for word somebody else's thing that is hundreds of years old. They just happen to come across the book and they're not going to tell you. So what I'm trying to say is time is not linear. It's wave. It increases. So for someone to say 2040, and even give you a day, May 15th, May 16th, 2040. Beloved, that's not even how time works. That's not even how energy works. That's not how any of this works. You have the God power, the God mind to manifest it all. So if you're beliving and you're sitting around for the next 20 years beliving this event is coming, guess what's going to happen? It's going to come for you. It's coming for you. beloved, because you have made that your reality. You have chosen to follow this doctrine down this path, and it's coming for you. But there's things that come with that, and things that you may not understand at this moment. That's why I do what I do, because I do understand that. All right? Same thing with the book of Revelation. It's written over a natural sun cycle where they wrote their chores of the script over top of it, script chores, and they're performing these chores right now. They're all chores. They're performing their chores of the theater. So if we step back and put it in perspective, that's the same thing going on with not just Archaics, with other channels as well. Okay? New Ra Legions. Take a step back and observe it for what it is. It's a new Ra Legion when everyone is hanging on the words and the knowledge. Listen, anybody that goes over there knows that the person that runs Archaics loves quoting Pliny the Elder. Do you know how many occasions this person has misquoted Pliny the Elder? This person has even made posts about Pliny the Elder, giving you the book, the page, the name, and everything, and paraphrase, just like people do with the Bible, gave you the first part of the sentence and didn't tell you what they said before and what they said after, so you have no clue. You really have no clue. You're just sitting there dumbfounded. Oh my gosh, this person has so much knowledge. And that's the beginning of going down that new Ra Legion. That's what it is. You're infatuated so much and impressed, okay? An image have of someone else and their perception has been impressed onto your perception. So now you're looking through the goggles of someone else. And you're coming into agreement with this doctrine, and you claim that everybody's claim is, well, he's read so many books and this and that. Chief, he comes with receipts. You don't. You know why? Because you may not have the eye to see. I come with receipts. Right now there's 170 of them right here in this chat. 171 including 9. That's 9 right there. That's the sacred feminine energy. 171. That's 9 right there. Completion. The sacred completion. If you want to be real, okay? That's the receipts. You're the book of life. There is no, it doesn't matter how many books. Think about it. Let's take it from the sacred feminine. Let's take it to the sacred masculine for a moment. If we're in a simulation, so the books aren't simulated, just like they tell you with the Bible, don't you see? They tell you the Bible, when you were growing up, the Bible was the inerrant, the errants. Anyone who reads the Bible are errants of the Word of God. Because the Bible is unchanging, same today as it is tomorrow, and this and that, and same with their God and the landlord. And it's the same thing that was said about the Bible, that everything out here can be touched except that inerrant word of God. It cannot be altered, cannot be touched or anything. Bold-faced lie. So this person is telling you that we're in a simulation based off of books. So everything here is simulated except books. So that means these people, these books that this person is reading and just regurgitating to you through their perception, all right, not coming up with anything new. It's just all about deciphering old stuff. There's nothing new. What's new? Someone tried to leave a comment and say, yeah, but he's made predictions and stuff that if came true. A broke clock makes 2 good predictions a day. What about the 97% of things that all the predictions that didn't come? Y'all didn't hear about those. Y'all didn't hear about those. I really want to keep this conversation going. I gotta speak to someone real quick. So if you have the patience to hold on for a moment, could be a minute, could be 2 minutes, could be at the very most 4 minutes. Give me one moment. I'm gonna have to pause this for 1 second. If y'all can hang out and just chill for a second, give me one moment. Thank you, brother. What's this? All right. When I put it on hold, do they keep the chat going for you guys? So at least you can like commune amongst yourselves? I don't know that. Do they do that? Brother London. Hey man. What's happening with you? Mësët, brother. Lay low. It's always a pleasure. And I'm pretty sure you got my email, brother. I had sent the email to you, let you know what's going on. But yeah, you guys already know Brother London and I are going to be on here soon, you know. We've been trying to make it happen, but it's just, you know, life comes. And when it does happen, it'll be exactly when it's supposed to. But what I'm saying is, y'all, I don't have any beef with the person. And people get really offended. Like, they get more offended about this whole archaics thing if I was to come on and make a video about your own mom. Like, I could probably find your mom on Facebook and, like, post a picture about her and say something if I was that type of, individual. And people would get more offended. Look. This my buddy's family right here. Hey y'all. Where Mom Dukes at? Mom Dukes. What y'all doing? Right there. That's one of the moms. Look. Hey y'all. What's going on? Huh? What you doing? Yeah? Alright now. You know, they mate for life. Look, they're all in pairs. They mate for life. They stay together for life. They won't, and then if one of them loses the other one, they won't replace that one. They'll just be they'll be single. So yeah, you know, I don't want to keep re-articulating the same point, but it's not you verse I, right? It's the you and I verse. So it's a song that we're singing. It's a frequency. So any distortion that's coming against eternal souls, that's what I'm here for. That's what I do. I'm gonna call it out. Now, I'm not going around the internet like trying to, with a fishnet, you know, going fine-tune comb and trying to like find everybody and everything. I'm just aware of certain people. Just the same way I'm aware of the Bible, and I constantly reference the Bible, I'm aware of archaics. And I'm aware of a lot of people that came over here from archaics. So at moments, I use it as a reference point. So what? So what? People are always quick to throw shots at if I even mention their king's name or something, which I don't even say the name. I just talk about the doctrine. Okay? But yet, it's okay for their king to do whole videos about and about someone else who, two other people, one of them I don't even know, Gnostic Marty. I don't know that person. And Micah Dank. I know Micah to a certain extent, but you know it. And I got love for everyone, but to be honest with you, I don't really know Micah like that neither. So, and no offense to Micah, but just because he was over here and we did a couple teachings together, don't mean that we have some kind of allegiance or something. Listen, y'all know I'm far from a fool, so I know this is not an accusation on anyone. This is a statement. I know who is on what type time and who's bringing what energy. I know. I know. You don't even have to tell I know. Okay? So I can already tap into the energy of y'all, even through this parasitic device. I can tap into the true core essence of the soul force essence that emanates through here. I'm not sitting there trying to say I can read your mind and all this and that, but I can still feel energy over this device. So there are points where I do know what y'all thinking. I can feel the energy. You just are being humble about it and you don't want to say nothing. Well, sometimes somebody has to say something, and that's what I did yesterday because it was relevant. It's not like I came out of left field with it. It had to do with the whole rapture thing, and I just bridged it together, showing how the same thing with this whole rapture thing is the same thing going to happen in May 2040. Nothing. And by then, 20 years going to go by, and it's not even going to matter. Like, it'll get to the point where it could be a freaking earthquake in the middle of the Pacific Ocean that registers 3.2 on the Richter scale, and this person will say that was the Phoenix event. It just so happened that this time the energy was different, and it was very light. The I don't even know the big scientific words that the information that was capitulated, uh, didn't completely adhere to the archaic analysis, but it was close. We were just a bit off. Like, anyone that's giving you an exact date doesn't understand time at all. All right, let's be clear. They don't even understand what time is, but yet self-proclaimed chronologist. Chronologist means chronos. That means whether they know it or not, they're connecting themselves to Saturn. So you may have to ask yourself, is this person part of Saturnic energy? There's a lot of things you may have to ask yourself, okay? And that's all I'm here to do. I'm not here to tell you anything. I'm not here to tell you who is who and this and that. All I'm here to do is to get you to know that you know. You don't have to look external to anyone that's presenting all this information and charts and tell you all these books. You call those receipts. I call that two-dimensional. I call that an eternal soul looking down at the sidewalk for answers. That's what I call that. I call that walking down the street with your head down, like, the answer gotta be here on the sidewalk somewhere. It's gotta be in over here. Where is it? Is it on this paper? Is it on this book? What newspaper? What's this? What's that? Are you not aware yet? If they change the Bible, right? You don't think that there's lies in the Bible? You don't think there's lies and things in all these other books? And then when this point is brought up, this person has said that they are the ones that go through the books and then bring you the truth. They've done the work for you and read all the books, and they have deciphered what is relevant and what is not. They have decided what's relevant and what's not. Is basically what they're telling you. They're telling you you don't have to read the books. I'll tell you what they say. But then when they post the books and the pages and stuff, if you actually go read it, it's not even saying what they're saying. It's like a preacher who quotes out of the Bible but doesn't tell you the whole context and like the whole verse. Like the whole about Jesus being black thing. Feet of burnt bronze and stuff, and woolly white hair and stuff. But what they're not telling you is that was John of Patmos. That was John of Patmos in the astral plane. He was in the dream world. They don't go on and say that this being that they're saying, they're using a verse to confirm that it's a quote unquote black person. They're not telling you that it also says their face was the sun. That's the same thing going on with these books and all of that. Matter of fact, let me park for a moment. So, basically what I'm trying to say, again, is it's about information. And I cannot sit back and it just, once something feels like I'm doing something wrong, even if that means by not taking action, then I have to take action. And that's just what it is. And when I say I don't care about what anybody says, I'm not saying I don't care about you. I'm not saying I don't care about your opinion, your perspective. You have the right to leave. That's why I allow everyone to leave what they think about things and stuff. That's your perspective. Respect. You know what I mean? It's no love lost. But when people get to firing shots, this and that, you gotta understand, we go through cycles here, right? Even you have your own cycle, just like the woman, our sacred women, have their monthly cycle. Men also have cycles of energy. There's moments during this incarnation where I just get to a point where I don't sugarcoat anything. I'm straight to the point. I come straight with it. Okay? That doesn't mean going around attacking people, belittling people, putting them down. But as again, for anyone who came in late, when I see over 100,000 potential eternal souls, who I consider my brothers and sisters, that are getting drawn into a new religion, and your energy is getting sucked upon, it's vampirism, and you don't even know it. Oh, Chief, I just go over there and, I watch and this and that. It's either that. So basically, you're saying you're going over there for entertainment. Entertainment. So you're still letting something enter your mind and you're giving your God power away, your perspective, and your manifestation power. It's literally being hijacked by one person's perspective. And their perspective, they're letting you know, is not even their perspective. It's coming from all these different books from other men that they've never met, you've never met. You have no clue who and what these people agenda they really were on. You don't know how many were Freemasons. You don't know how many were Satanists. You don't know how many were just like these star seeds right now telling you it's aliens and Atlas 3-1 Atlas and all this and that. That's the same thing as Nemesis X in the Phoenix event. They desire for you to take your God power manifestation and to think this is true, so it will happen. So technically, everyone that's following that simulation stuff, they're literally creating it. Period. They're literally creating it because you're not being in the moment. You're literally 18 years out somewhere. What is it now? 16 years, 15 years out from this, 15 years out. Man, that's a pretty good little, I'm not accusing anyone, but that's a nice little business model. You know, if I was a scam artist, that would be perfect. To put out a date that's like 15 years away and then just come online and teach and just have a bunch of maps and drawn out little things and tell you I've read all these books and reference it and speak with big words and things like that. And you know, and have all these presentations becomes a job instead of your alignment and what you've been put here to do becomes a job. Content creator. Content. While they're in a mansion, you're in a tent. You're in a little teepee, and they'll be in a mansion. Unless there's a get together on May 24th that costs you $80 to come to Virginia Beach, maybe you might be there, and then you know you find out there was a 1.3 Richter scale earthquake in the middle of the Indian Ocean somewhere, and that'll be your Phoenix event right there. And that it'll get justified and all that and blah, blah, blah. So the point of the post was not to attack anybody. Anything I do, I don't do out of spite, out of hate. It's out of love. So it's not about I attacking in a person. It's about I loving the people who are being led astray. So that's where I am, where confirmation comes to my heart. You got to speak out, and I'll be the one. I'm built for it. I don't care. I don't care about all the comments about ego or this is kiddie stuff going back and forth. That's what communication is. It's back and forth. Okay? The same way that you leave a comment, that's communication. It's back and forth. You just sent one back. Same way if I send one forth and then you send one back. That's called communication. So it's all back and forth. Okay? It just seems like it strikes a nerve, and that's where you might want to realize, take a step back, kind of like out of body, and look at your life and see, what is it that's making me defend this person so highly? Have they become my idol? Have they actually become my new religious leader? And where is this leading? Where is this leading now? What is the end game with this message here that I'm spending all my time and energy on? What is this person truly trying to teach I? Is it about remembering who I am and that I'm an eternal soul and taking my authority? Nah, you might say, yeah, informed field and all that. Informed field, but we in a simulation. So what does the informed field mean? That means that you're just tapping into the simulation's energy. That's what an informed field is. It's knowledge. It's the masculine energy. That's just a metaphysical way of saying you're informed field. Informed means information, not intuition. That means it's still external. That means you're looking to the simulation to use it to get what you want. And correct me if I'm wrong, I can recall this person even saying you have to lie to get what you want here. I can recall that coming out of this person's mouth. You have to lie to the informed field to get what you want. So what makes you think that this person's not lying to you to get what they want? Huh? And everyone, not everyone, but there's a group that's so quick. Anytime I open my mouth and come against the doctrine, not the person. They think, listen, like I said, if I have a problem with somebody, where I'm at with it now in this incarnation, I wouldn't even, I don't even go at anybody. I don't give them any energy. It's the information in the doctrine. Okay. But if I was still operating from that energy, I will come out and say it, and y'all will really know. Y'all will really know. I would do a whole teaching over one video and destroy 1,000 videos over there that have been posted with one teaching. I would totally destroy the entire doctrine of archaics in one teaching if I was on that ego time. Period. And I'm not saying that cockily, I'm saying it because I know. And someone left a comment and said, nobody knows, really, when 2040 May comes around, nobody really knows. Well, beloved, that's incorrect. I know. I know. And you do too. You just proclaim that you don't know. So now you don't know. You know. It's in you. You know. It's just, are you going to remember or not? Are you going to keep following these people that are giving you nothing but external regurgitation? That's the cycle. That's the infinity. That's the immortal. Okay? Someone said, we're all immortal, eternal beings. That's a conundrum. That doesn't make any sense. That same thing as saying you're a sovereign citizen. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a sovereign citizen. That might be a title called sovereign citizen, but that's not, you cannot be a sovereign citizen. That's the same thing as saying, I'm an immortal, eternal being. Which is it? Are you stuck in time? Or are you eternal and you're not bound by it, and this is not all there is for you? Okay? That's a contradiction. That doesn't add up. Alright? So I'm simply here to just guide those right now. Whatever, even if it's for a day or 6, 7 years. Alright? But I'm only here to spark something in you that's already in you, that you already know, that can build into a fire from a spark. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not leading you down some doctrine. Yes, and then people say, well, you was on archaics and you even said, and you brought up this stuff that went with the archaics and this and that. No, I simply brought up what the Bible says in Revelation in the real code about Uranus, and I didn't say anything about coming back in 2040. I was talking about 2046, and shout out to the good sister Miss Dawn, who corrected the person on there and said, no, Chief didn't say that. Chief was talking about 2046. And I never said that that's going to be the end of the world and all this and that. All I did was simply present information. It was the host that was saying, that was taking the information and applying it as they will. Oh, see, when something has many different vantage points, then that's how you know it's true. But I thought we was in a simulation, though. So how can anything be true here in a simulation just because it's coming from all different vantage points? That doesn't make sense. That's a contradiction in itself. All different vantage points from a simulation is still all different vantage points from a simulation. But all information here that you're getting out of books and stuff and reading and regurgitating, that's still part of the simulation, if that's what you believe that we're in. None of it makes sense. It's exactly like the Bible. It's all contradictory. And like I said, I'm not gonna really, because then it will get personal. But I know the books that this person got their whole thing from. I know. And there's maybe one or two other people that know that they've never ever told you in reference, and everybody talks about, he gives receipts, Chief. Well, he ain't never gave you the receipt of where he got his whole thing from. All them other books, it's clear that he doesn't even really read them. Because I can tell, because there's books that he showed in his library that I have that I really read, and he don't know anything, truly really don't know what's in them. Just skimming over the ink on the paper. See, when you do that, you don't tap into the sacred energy of it. You're only reading it with your left brain. So therefore you can regurgitate it and use big words and intellect and try to make it sound good. But without you tapping into the sacred feminine energy, you're half. You'll never be whole. And right now, in the moment we're at, that is what's on the rise. The return of that. What you think everybody's so scared of? What you think all these elites are running around doing all these rituals and all these Psyops, Rapture? Who you think started that? You think a pastor started that? That was injected into the community by the same people who just did the whole Psyop with the man getting taken out and all that. So there comes a point where you must ask yourself, is it possible that this person could be compromised? Not even compromised like they're working for the CIA, but their consciousness has been compromised. It comes a point where you seriously have to ask yourself that. Just like if you're watching CNN, Canaan, or you watching Fox, the Red Roth, the Rothschild, the Red Fox, the shield of the Red Shield, Fox, the Red Shield, or you watching Canaan, the seeds of Cain, CNN. This is the new thing on the internet. All right, and the powers, not authority, because we are the authority that be, but the powers that be know this. So they're going to interject into certain people. Why do you think they allow these people to get 250,000 followers? Why do you think that? Why do I get a notification every day? You have 130 new followers, but the number is never changing. Why do you think when I speak long enough here, they'll do some kind of weird demonic overlay over the voice to try to spook y'all off, and anybody that's not truly tapped in will be like, oh my gosh, and get scared. So, this video is not about defense. It's just about articulating it a little bit more directly out of my mouth to give you a little more clarity. I love everyone, and I have no beef with any individual. Okay? That's just other people's perspectives and projections being put out. Okay? They make it, oh, it's Chief versus this person. No, it's not. It's Chief versus nobody. It's you and I versing. It's not you versus I. No matter who and what it is. Alright? I don't even fight demons. I cast them out. And that's just completely negative, separated energy. Not to spookify or anything like that. I don't fight anything because I have authority over all. Not eternal souls, because you have authority over your verse, okay? Your vibration. I don't. But when you buy into someone's doctrine, you've given your authority away. You've given your God power away. So now you're literally manifesting this event. You're literally taking your God power and manifesting the event. So keep on going down that road, and guess what? You'll get to see what it feels like to be in it. Not read about it, not be on the internet the next day and everybody getting together and saying, wow, you were right. It ain't gonna go down like that. You keep on giving your God power, soul force, essence away to psyops like that, and you're gonna be in it, in some kind of weird thing that happens, anomaly, like flight, that what was that, flight 130, I don't know, flight 117 or whatever, that disappeared when they flew too close to Mount Meru. And that's why I speak out, because I don't will that for you. There's something better for you here. You can live a better life. You can live a balanced and whole life, and it can rub off on all those that you love, and you can lead by example. You can walk the walk. You don't have to regurgitate another man's information. I'm sure when you come over here and when I speak, you don't go back and tell your family word for word everything that I said. No, you say it how you say it. You just take the bits and pieces that resonate with you and you share it with who you share it with. Okay? You don't, and you don't bring a book. You don't have to have a receipt of books and stuff like that. I really don't know how impressive that is. I mean, that's what people do when they're in jail for 25 years or whatever. It's just read and eat and sleep. And some people work out, some people don't. Some people play the phone, some people play the writing and all that. Nowadays they got iPads. All right. So, I did a lot of reading when I was, when I did my time as well in there. But you got to understand, Nemesis X object doesn't exist. If you think Nemesis X is a thing, you might as well just go with NASA. You might as well go with NASA and Elon Musk, and you might as well go with the 31 Atlas that's coming. That's gonna be here. There's ships here right now. There's Nibiru's coming. Anunnaki's coming. They're meeting with the government in November. You might as well go with the whole thing. If you think Nemesis X, listen to these words. And on top of that, let's look at the whole thing. The person is also a fiction writer. What's it called? Galen or something? Galen's, I don't know. Galen something. So observe it all. This means the person has the capacity to be teaching you and writing fiction at the same moment. That means they have the capacity to give out fiction. So where is the line blurred, and where does it cross over and the fiction go into the teachings that you think are all real and have these receipts and everything? When they have a capacity and they're writing fiction novels as well. Okay? So you got to ask yourself. You really got to ask yourself. And that's all I'm here to do, is to get you to go inward, not outward, and really put things into perspective. Okay? That's it. I'm not here to cause division. All right? The division is when you're taking 100,000 some people to the new religion. That's the division. See, when someone comes along, says, "Hey, you, where y'all going? Where y'all going?" And then everybody turns back around, points finger. He's trying to divide us. This is the inerrant word of God, the Phoenix event. Do you realize you're idolizing an event that's not going to happen? You realize that, right? You do realize things that have been referenced as Phoenix events were literally like little earthquakes and like a volcano that poofed out a little bit of smoke and stuff. You do know that, right? You do know that there were a few that didn't match directly into the time thing, so they were maneuvered a little bit over here. So when the lunar calendar is convenient, the lunar calendar was used to tweak it to make it all line up. You do know that, right? With that whole doctrine, you know it's just not straightforward, right? And on top of that, you know time is not linear, right? It's a frequency. That's the red sun to the blue sun. It's in every it's this is something that is not in books. It's on caves and hieroglyphs and things, so it doesn't get changed. All right? It's in stone and stuff like that. It's not in books that's from the 1800s, 1700s. That was yesterday. That was literally just 2 days ago. Even them books are new. They're all new. All that is new stuff. It doesn't matter. Okay? The stuff like people like Ptolemy and Pliny the Elder and stuff, it's just like the Bible. You know how they don't have none of their original works. All that stuff has been touched by thousands of hands of people that have reinterpreted and everything. So you're not reading Pliny the Elder, Pliny the Younger, Ptolemy, none of that. Pythagoras. You're reading the same thing as the Bible, the version that has been. You think Ptolemy and Pliny and them was writing in English, modern day English, at the book you're getting from Booktree? No, it's been rewritten by another man. Then another man is reading it and giving you another man's perspective on another man's perspective that rewrote from another man, that learned off another man and learned off another man. You're just getting the newest version of one person's perspective that is charismatic through the use of intellect, that is pulling you through. It's no different than the charismatic church movement. It's no different than charismatic Mike Murdoch, prosperity gospel, charismatic movement, and all that. It's no different. It's New Religion. And that's all I'm trying to do, y'all. I'm not worried about an individual, the one that's. I mean, if this person is an eternal soul, then I am. Well, I don't worry about anything. But so let me correct that. If this person is an eternal soul, and even if they are just spirit, I love them. I love them. But when I do address things, it comes up. It's from a place of love about y'all. It's not about that person. It's about y'all and us. That's the only reason I put out posts like that. And I rarely do it. You know I rarely do it. So if I do it, then that means it was placed on my heart to do it. To put out a post. And like I said, it's unapologetic. I know there's going to be 30, 40 comments of people that saying this and saying that. It comes with the territory. But I also know there's going to be 100, 200 posts of people that put hearts and say, thank you, Chief. We love you. And I love you too. That's what it's about. Everything is not going to resonate with everyone. But, and another thing that I don't understand is, if I'm this egotistical monster that everyone claims every time I mention and bring up someone who is leading people astray, then why are you here? People leave these long drawn out comments about, judging I and putting things on I because I'm bringing up false doctrine. But you're here though. That make sense. That doesn't make sense to I don't know how to even make that make sense. But you're here. There's people that come here constantly that I block. But I see when I block someone, I can still see the messages. Y'all can't. And they can still see the messages. And they come every teaching. There's one person that comes here every teaching that says the same thing every time. Y'all don't see him because they're blocked. I see it. Why are you here every teaching? Why are you here every time that we go live? It's not adding up. Okay? That means either you're sent from, you are part of the parasitic energy, or your soul is reaching out, and but your ego is stopping your soul from receiving the real truth, which is not me. It's not. It's you. The real truth is you, beloved. So all I'm trying to say is stop looking to these people, not just one person. I just use that as an example because of the rapture thing, and then the only other person I know about is putting out a date is the person that we all know has put out this date and receipts. If you call that a receipt, then I'll write you an IOU right now for $1,000,000. If you call any book a receipt, I'll write you a receipt right now. Tell me where to send it to you. I'll give you an IOU for $1,000,000. Bucks with a deer on it. Like a deer. I put a deer. I'm not even put a person. I put a picture of a deer with a buck, 9-point buck. I'll send you an IOU since it's a receipt. Everything that's written down there is receipts, Chief. He brings receipts. You don't. Actually, I bring the only receipt, the true book of life, as you do. There's only one true receipt, and that's actually receiving. You've recepted. Reception. Reception of what? The true you. So there's only one true receipt. There's not 1,000,000 receipts. There's not 20,000 receipts. There's not 3,000 receipts. It's one receipt. Receipt is recept. That means you have received it. You've recepted. All right. You're a receptor. You've received what? The true you. You've remembered. That's the truth. I'm not giving it to you. I'm just giving you words of knowledge that spark something in you to remember who and what you truly are. And once you truly get that, then you will know where I'm coming from when I say, when May 2040 comes, there's nothing happening. Nothing. Nothing. Somebody said, nobody knows, Chief. I know. I know. And many of you know too. You wouldn't be on here right now. So this is not about, I know that this person, if they get wind of this, who knows? Because I've seen them, how they operate when they were trying to pick with Billy Carson and Graham Hancock and stuff like that. So they're going to look at it through their perception, and they're going to try to make it seem like, oh, Chief is trying to just, he's clout chasing. He's just trying to attack us so he can get some kind of attention by trying to stuff. Well, no, that's the pot calling the kettle black, see? Because if we go back and look at action, which is who someone truly is, not their words, we know that we have seen this person operating with that energy, trying to pick with Graham Hancock and pick with Billy Carson and pick with certain people that are higher up gatekeepers, okay, and try to pick away at them, hoping that they will bite and pull them onto their show. So next thing you know, they'd be on, guess what show they would be on? Joe Rogan. And then what? Everybody sitting around, 1,000,000 people sitting around 2040 waiting, wearing Baby Phoenix t-shirts and drinking Baby Phoenix coffee and this and that, using AI algorithm to try to gamble. Who does that? Does an eternal soul? And I'm not judging. My mom gambled. Okay? My granny gambled. So I'm not judging. But let's be real. Someone said, oh, but he's made so many predictions that have come true. What? What? 2 out of 13 football games on the list? On the, I don't even know what they're called because I don't gamble. The slip, the, what's it called? I don't know. What, 3 out of 13 football games you got right? So now, like, your AI thing works or whatever? And anyone that's working with AI, that's a red flag. It's a red flag. And there's others too. It ain't just about archaics, So, like I said, um, it's just the same way that I reference the Bible. I can only reference things I know. So, I'm when I do reference a certain platform or doctrine, it's because I'm aware of it. So I can only use what I'm aware of as a reference point for you all. And I know that you all know about it too. So, it's just what I'm here to do. And it comes with the territory. I get it. There's going to be, there already has been, say that Chief is, this is ego, here we go again, and all this and that. No, it was just placed on my heart that, sometimes you need a reminder. Sometimes you need a reminder, okay? Not to get pulled back into that vacuum again. Whether you're here, it's not about you choosing one place over another. I love you and I care about you, but it's not about you being here. I don't have to do things like that to try to attract. I'm already at where I'm at, and everything that I need and that I will is attracted to. I don't have to chase anything. Universal law, anything you chase runs from you. So I don't chase anything. So everything in my life is attracted. It comes to I. Because I am that. I know who and what I am. Therefore, I know that I'm the all. Therefore, I know if I'm in alignment and harmony through righteousness, that it's going to come. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to check my bank account and keep looking at it. Did anybody send me anything? Did anybody donate today? No, I know that when I have to go to the store, if and when or whatever happens, I know it will be there. I don't believe it'll be there. I know it will. I don't have to check it. It's not that I'm got all this money, moony. It's just that I know. Money is just a side. Where we're at right now, money is a side effect of you being in alignment. It should not be your purpose, like your goal. You get in alignment, and money will only come if it's needed for your goal to be accomplished. It's like residue. It's residue from you walking your walk. It's like bees vibrating and all that, and coming in the nest and all that, and the honey is a residue. That's honey and money are the same thing. It's just residue. It's energetic residue. But it shouldn't be the main goal. Okay? And to a lot of people on YouTube that have big followings, it's become their main goal. So now it's not even about really trying to, I don't even want to say enlighten, but it really is. It's enlightened. It's because it's really to make you lighter and to spark that eternal light, that eternal flame inside of you. So it is to enlighten. Okay? That's no longer their intent. Their intent is to just run a show, a channel, a medium, media, the new media, all right, And it's become a business. Busyness. Right? The Loch Ness Monster. Right? The Phoenix event. The Loch Ness Monster. Nemesis X. But Chief, that teaching you did on there, it went with the, did I say it went with everything? That wasn't my words. All I did was present information, and the other party was saying, everything Chief is saying is see, it's from different vantage points, and it just means it's all true. That was just them simply trying to use the information that I'm giving out to give the perception that what I'm saying is justifying and aligning and like I'm co-signing on their doctrine. That's not what that teaching was about. Okay? And right now it's behind a paywall. If you want to go pay $20 and put it in that person's pocket and rewatch it, I do have it, thanks to a beloved family. I can't remember. I cannot. I can't recall at this moment if it was a sister, beloved sister or brother. But either way, it was family who sent the teaching. So I got it. I can repost it. But honestly, I'm gonna read. I'll redo it better. I'll redo it better at this point. If I'm gonna redo it, I'm gonna redo it even better. And I got another teaching too that's on that same level, if not beyond that I haven't even done yet. That will blow your mind as well. If you really want to know the real cycle of this realm and what's going on, I can show you that. It has nothing to do with no Phoenix event. There's no, the Phoenix event is a new thing. Okay, that a man, it's no different than someone that's got wrapped up in gematria so far gone that they literally will make this whole gematria post, and by the end of the post, you don't know what the hell they're talking about. It started out good. I was following you at first, okay, but now you talking about reduction cardinal, reverse Fibonacci, you know, reverse Chaldean cipher and this and that. And you can make anything you want. You can see anything you want to see with that fake gematria. You can literally take your mind on a never-ending story. Never-ending story. La 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 la. That's what, and these doctrines that are being pushed are the same thing. Ask yourself, what's the end game? What's the end game with the doctrine? What's the whole point of you going there? I'm not telling you where to go. I'm not telling you. I would never tell you where you can and can't go. I love all of y'all. I love you if you love archaics and you love coming over here to Chief's teaching. I love you. So what? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not telling you there's anything wrong. I'm telling you to walk light and be easy and make sure you don't get pulled into that vacuum because it's a new religion, and that's just the facts. That's just the facts. It's a new religion, and it's literally got everyone sitting around waiting on this date. It sounds like Jim Jones. It reminds me of Jim Jones down there. What was that, Texas? It really reminds me of something like that where people are waiting on this mothership to come back and like scoop everybody up or something. It's really no different. It's just the devil is in the details. It's the same broad outline foundation that has been used infinite amount of times. It's just different details. So when I make a post like that, it's to pull all of us up. It's just a reminder. It's not an attack. If someone takes it as an attack, If someone takes it as Chief being egotistical, so be it. I'll rub it in my chest. It's what I'm here for. You guys already know. That stuff doesn't phase I at all. You can say whatever you want. It's an old saying, and we were talking about prison earlier. We used to go like this. Rub it in your chest. Put it under your arm. Carry it with you. Some people, some of us are built for this, and that's why we're in the positions we're in. It doesn't phase I when I have to put out something like that. Do you think that I like putting things out that could be perceived as conflict? No, I don't. But I follow the greatest of spirit, and the greatest of spirit is always perfect. So therefore, if it's placed on my heart, especially in the middle of the night, out of nowhere, then I know it's meant for a reason. It's not going to be meant for everyone. And not everyone's going to take it harmonically. Not everyone's going to take it as love. People are going to take it as their own perception. Oh, Chief's trying to start trouble. Here we go again. No, it's not about that. It's not about that. Okay? It's not about one person. It's not about me. It's not about I. It's about us. It's about our brothers and sisters, and we are graduating and we moving on up. And that's what it's about. And I have a position to uphold. Yes, I am a chieftain on the land. But an even higher honor is being able to guide eternal souls. Yes, I do take my chieftain position serious. I honor it. It's a sacred position. I don't play with it, and I'm honored and I'm privileged, and it's a wonderful thing, and I'm highly honored. Okay, it's sacred to I. It is, but what's even more sacred is guiding eternal souls. Okay, you don't have to be of the Lenape Hopewell tribe, Unami clan, for you to call I chief. Okay, we got our own. Your vibe is your tribe. We got our own tribe right here. And just because I have the moniker chief doesn't mean that I'm above you, like I'm some kind of ruler over you or something. It's simply you just calling me chief. That's all. It can be a nickname. Okay. It doesn't. You're not literally telling like I'm your chief. Like what I say goes. On the flip side, there's people out here that they're not calling themselves anything. Master, grandmaster, or some mystical name or something, but they're still doing the master thing. They're still being your overseer. They're still being the one that dictates their perception onto you. They're projecting it all onto you, and they're hitting you with so much of it constantly, repetitiously. You don't even have the moment to properly let it edify. You're stuffing your mouth full of food so much that it's not even going through your digestive tract yet. You're pooping it out before you can even realize, before your body can fully even edify and break it all down. That in itself is a red flag. Someone that's just putting out so much content. You don't even have to have a moment to actually digest it. Don't you see that that's part of it? It's to overwhelm your circuitry of this technology to the point where you're just baffled by it, and you think that this entity is a genius. The word genius just means somebody who's happened to the genes of us. So they're figuring out a way to get you, they're not tapping in, they're not resonating on your frequency. They're getting you to resonate on their frequency. That's what's happening. They're altering your perception. Instead of you going inward, now you're going off books from the 1600s and stuff that's being misquoted and paraphrased by another man, and now you're believing that this some event is coming. And there's a lot of people whose whole lives revolve around this now. There's people that fly from Australia and places to come do what? Sit around and drink beer and eat GMO meat and stuff like that, and talk about this event in 15 years. I mean, no judgment. If that's what you want to do, cool. Maybe it's more about the fellowship and the communion. You just want to be around some people. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging. What I am saying is, once again, when I see my brothers and sisters being drug along further and further and further into idolatry, into a new religion, the reason I'm here, I have to say something, regardless of what comes with it. Okay? Regardless of what comes with it. I know it's going to be backlash. I know it's going to be people that say things, but it is what it is. And most of you already know. It's coming from love for y'all, not some kind of animosity to an individual. Like I think I said it last teaching. You don't go home and cry and get upset about somebody you don't know. You think when you're riding and somebody on road rage gives you the finger, do you go home and you start crying and sit there on your bed and think about this person for 2 days how they gave you the finger? No, you don't care. You care about those you love. Therefore, I'm not going to make a post about the person that gave me the finger. I'm going to make a post about, hey, y'all, don't get caught up in this stuff out here, this road rage with these people. You know what I'm saying? That's just doing what they doing. Stay centered. You know, don't even give your energy out to them. That's where I'm going to come with it. And that's where I'm at with it. That's what I did. So I don't know, and I really don't care what this possibly could escalate into. I don't care if somebody makes a whole video or whatever. I don't care. It's about you and I versing, making our verse, which is the new song frequency at a better, a higher. It's wholeness. It's balance and wholeness. And I just want you, the same way I explain the Bible, if the Bible don't get a pass from I, what makes you think that some new religion on YouTube is going to get a pass from I? Not even I, the Great Spirit. If the Bible doesn't get a pass over here, what makes you think that a YouTube page of a YouTuber is going to get a pass? It's not going to happen. And as I said, it's not about I going around looking like I'm the truth police, like out here searching for everyone that's giving my energy away. That wouldn't make I as effective for the Great Spirit to utilize and use and to come through, because I'd be extending myself. It's like a rubber band. I'd be stretching myself out too short, and eventually you stretch a rubber band too much out, it'll break. Then you got smaller pieces. Okay? So it's not about that. Again, it's about what I know. I know the Bible better than I would probably say. Well, ain't no probably. I know the Bible better than 99% of any pastor or preacher out here that has churches and all that. Okay? So I know it. Therefore, I reference it a lot. I know the true message of the what they call the Christ. So I will reference that. And I understand where we're at with it right now, and I know that's been the main tool that everybody knows that's been used to hijack the consciousness. We're moving into a new energy right now. The cusp is almost over. If you don't know what the cusp is, it's when the two ages overlap for a small period of time. The cusp is almost over. That means it's going to be full on, which we call today Aquarian energy. It's just the energy of the knower. That's it. It's the energy of the knower. It's the great mother energy. The water bearers, water is the mother. It's always been. Even when they tell you the Bible and the God came, well, what was here before God? The waters, the primordial waters. It's the great mother. It's the womb of origin. Okay? We're coming back to that. That's why I always tell you it's the rise of the sacred feminine energy right now that is probably the most vital point. It's not about rulership. The sacred feminine doesn't rule. It's harmonic. Okay? So all I'm saying to y'all is be careful out here. Be full of care. Okay? This whole rapture thing is a perfect example of what's going to happen with anybody, not just 2040, anyone that's putting out dates. What's that guy's name that's from Canada that passed away that played the piano? They called a prophet. It was a Christian guy, had long hair. Anyone in the chat know what I'm talking about? He used to play the piano and prophesy and stuff, and they said he like talked to Donald Trump and things like that, and supposedly like Trump called upon him, and he had like all these prophecies that people say come true. Does anybody know his name in the chat? Kim. Yeah, Kim something. Kim Clement. Yeah. Kim Clement, right? People say all the time that he had all these prophecies that came true. Do you realize that most of the prophecies that people say that he said came true, he would be on the piano almost just freestyling a song, a lot like Nostradamus. It's been proven that you can take Nostradamus's. There's a whole book out here that was written just to prove this point what I'm about to tell you. Someone wrote a book called the most secret teachings of Nostradamus, right? Some similar title, and there was not one thing in there from Nostradamus. What they did was they did a psyop, and they just said all these random things to see, like you know, like the woman with the crown on her head with the star above her with her two hands up will cross the river, and then the two brothers will fall. They'll say something like that, and 50,000 people will say, "Oh, this is what happened. It's when this and da 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 da." They will literally make it real from their perspective. That's what's going on right now. It's all coming from in you. It's what you agree upon. So if you agree upon that these books are receipts, that this person is a genius, they know pretty much everything. They can tell you the date down to the day that there's an event coming, but yet they've not once, correct me if I'm wrong, explained to you about time and how it really works. That it's a frequency. So the speeding up of time, the slowing of time, and the speeding of time. It's light. So when we say time, it's just another way of saying light. Vibration. Frequency. It's just a certain frequency we call time that really doesn't really exist as what we know as time. So And the people that wrote all these books more than likely didn't break it down either. Because if they did, then the person regurgitating the books would have already done a teaching on it, explaining to you that time is not linear. And that would, but they wouldn't do that because that would defeat their whole doctrine. Therefore, all them charts, 1,300 charts on 7 hard drives, all the charts, all this and that, and all of this, you know. I'm not knocking anybody's work. But I'm talking about doctrine, idolatry, religion. Okay. They cannot tell you about what time really is because then their whole doctrine will collapse. Then there will be questions that will be asked that cannot be answered by this person. That's what I was saying earlier, not to be, because that would be egotistical if I did a whole video out of like some kind of weird spite thing, and just for the cause of showing you, like basically to destroy the whole doctrine of that person. I'm letting you know I could do it in one video. I could do it in one video. I could destroy the entire archaic doctrine in one, probably 3-hour video. Lay it to rest. Take a nice nighty-night nap. That's a fact. And the most simplest way, and I tell you all the time, the most simplest way to destroy the whole simulacrum thing is authentic love. Authentic love cannot be simulated. That right there, if you know, you know. That right there destroys the whole doctrine of that we're in a simulation. Because you cannot simulate authentic love. Therefore, that there alone destroys all the receipts, all the information, all the knowledge that has no legs, that just keeps coming and 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 coming. But when do you go inward? When do you go inward? That's the eternal. That's the eternal. It's not overwhelming. It's not overwhelming. It doesn't have to come. That's out of balance. The scales are out of balance. When you're in the eternal energy, you are, and you just be, and you worry about nothing. You idolize no thing. You don't worry about nothing. You ain't worried about no date. You ain't worried. I'm not even worried. I'm parked right now, talking to you. I'm not even worried about time right now. I haven't worn a watch in 15 years. Maybe 13 to 15 years. I don't care about time. None of that. And I have made that from the authority that I am. I have manifested that into my universe, where I don't have to worry about time. A lot of you asking about the meetup in at the mountain, Washita, about, do I have a date and stuff. No offense, don't take this the wrong way. Don't worry about time. It will happen exactly when it's supposed to happen. If I said that we're going to do it, we're going to do it. Just know that. We'll be there. You don't got to worry about the time and when and all that. You'll know. Same thing about the pole shift and all that. Don't worry about where you got to be and when should you go and this and that. You will be exactly where you're supposed to be when anything happens. The greatest of spirit will guide you, not Chief Ironbush. Chief Ironbush can be a vessel that can spark something in you. I'm not here. There will be some of you that come to the community. I know that. But I'm not here to just build a community for everyone to come to. I'm here to show you how to do it. I'm not looking for followers. I'm looking for those that we can walk hand in hand and build together. I'm not looking for subs. I'm not looking for people to put me on a pedestal. I'm not looking for veneration, praise, okay? I'm looking for others to remember who they truly are. My our brothers and sisters. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here for clout. When's the last time you ever heard me say like, share, and subscribe? The only time I've ever come on here and tried to sell anything was sacred oregano, or that I wish that I had more of, so I could have had, because it was, man, it was close to 1,000 people that inquired about it, and I only had one batch. So please don't get offended if I didn't respond to you. Okay, I didn't know it was gonna be that many. I literally had about 800 emails inquiring. Still get them. So that's the only time you've ever seen me or seen an hour. And when my wife was still here in the physical, we had the Tree of Life community where I was selling herbs and everything. But that's because I was growing them myself. Right now, I'm not in a location where I'm growing the herbs myself. So I'm not going to buy herbs out here from someone else and resell them to you. That's integrity. I'm not going to do that. That's regurgitating even someone else's herbs. That's the same thing as regurgitating books. People ask I all the time, Chief, I would love to know where you get all this from. Do I read books? Not so much anymore, but I did. There was a point where I loved reading books. But you get to a point where you finally get there where you know that it's all already in you. This is unfathomable to most people. It's because there's a lot of fakers out there. So when they hear this, they're like, oh, it's another person talking about they getting downloads or uploads. No, never said that. You're remembering. Remembering doesn't mean recalling a past memory. Remembering means becoming a member again. Member of what? The real you. The true you. Knowing. Becoming a knower again. Not, and I know Gnostic and Gnosis means knowing. I'm not talking about Gnostic. That's another Rod Legion. I'm talking about knowing the truth. What is the truth? You. The real you. Not a book. Not some other man's doctrine. Not some other man's AI technology and all these books that they read and little graphs that they done drew out and all that. Like, again, I'm not knocking anyone's work. Whether they're a soul or a spirit. They put in energy. I respect it. I respect any work. I respect work ethic. But what I don't respect is when I see my brothers and sisters being led astray. And I'm not saying that Chief Iron Bush has the only way. Like, I'm the one. If you're not getting it from I, then you're not getting the truth, and stay away from everybody. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying ask yourself, wherever you go, what's the end game here? What's the end game? Is this no ledge? Is there no ledge to this? That means it's just knowledge. It's repetition, regurgitated. It's the cud. You know what the cud is? That chews the cud. It's two stomachs. When they chew the cud, animals chew the cud. They throw it up and they eat it again, and then they swallow it. That's what's being given out by a lot of these YouTubers. Chewing cud. You're chewing cud. Okay? Cud can also be pronounced Duke. Duke. Okay? Now I know the word is duped, but a lot of people think it's duped. You're being duped. You know, like Marduk. And being duped. You're being duped means you're being overseen. There's a lot of talk about oversoul, where you're allowing someone else to be your oversoul when you're buying into their doctrine. Ask yourself this. Have I ever taught you any doctrine? Do I teach doctrine? Do I teach doctrine over here? No, I don't. And I'm not saying this in a way to uplift I above anyone else. I don't teach doctrine. I simply teach things hoping that will spark something in you to remember who and what you truly are so you can take your authority back. If you take your authority back, guess what? All of this stuff, you have authority over. That means even if there was a Nemesis X, even if there was a Nemesis X object, you have full authority over it. That means you can literally cast it down and dissipate it. But you gotta know this. You gotta know that this is not some fairy tale. See, the fairy tale is when you buy into these doctrines about Nemesis X objects and Phoenix events and all that. That's the fairy tale. They want you to think that the fairy tale is you having authority over all and the God power, the God power, that you are the gods and goddesses of this realm. You're not in a simulation. Can y'all hear me? Am I back? Alright. But yeah, y'all. Look, I'm not, when I make a post like that, I'm not trying to come with negative energy or nothing like that. No animosity. There's no ill will towards I against the individual. It's just about making sure that family is not getting sucked into a vacuum of these new Rylegians out here, including star seeds, including even the old Rylegians that we're finding out that are lies. Okay, so what's odd to I is though, like I don't. Give me 1 second. Can you hear me? Is the sound good? Okay. Yeah, but basically what I was saying, and I've reiterated this many times during this broadcast because I see people coming and going. The post I put out about the rapture and how nothing happened is going to be the same thing that happens May 2040. Nothing. Nothing's going to happen. It's only going to happen to those that are feeding into it and giving their God power mind to it. And it's not going to happen in a good way, beloved. You're not going to sit back like you're watching the fireworks on 4th of July. If you be live in that and you give your energy to that, you're going to actually be in it. you're going to experience it because you're so infatuated with it that you're resonating at that frequency. You're going to bring it to you. You're going to bring that to you. Is that what you really will? Is that what you want to sit around for the next 15 years and wait on an event so you can be liquefied or whatever? I mean, I don't know. Or are you going to go inward, remember who you truly are and what you are and why you are and where you are and what you're doing here, and be, and not worry about any of that, any idolatry, any of this doctrine that has it literally has no ledge. It's no ledge. That's knowledge. It keeps going and going and going and going and going. There's no end to it. Excuse I, but brother or sister Garcia, you said I don't think that is the message. Would you like to clarify that statement? Whatever happens is for the collective, and we're going to be just fine. I agree with that. I didn't know if you're like referring to you don't think that that's the message being given out over at archaics. Because again, you don't have to hear from ask yourself. When not even at archaics, anywhere you're at, ask yourself. You should be asking yourself every time, every moment that you're giving your energy, because even if you're sitting there watching it, you're giving energy out. It might not be going directly to the person that you're watching, but I mean, when you got 200,000 people, a lot of it is, but you're giving out your energy. So you have to ask yourself, the audio going again? Okay. Okay. If you lose audio and everyone else is saying it's fine, you might have to go out and come back in. What was I saying? Yeah, no matter where you're at, ask yourself, while I'm here and I'm giving my energy, what is this leading to? What's the end game here? And as far as I know, with that whole thing, the end game is just Phoenix event. Then what? And we're in a simulation. And the pyramid was built by Enki, who is the benefactor of humanity. Red flag. Do y'all not know? Do you not know that? That you're listening to a person who is telling you that Enki is the benefactor of humanity. And Enki and Enoch are the same person. When Enoch was the one who was mediating, trying to mediate between two different factions that we call the Agigi and the Anunnaki. Enoch's name in the Sumerian tablets is Enki-Me. It's the same name as Enki, and then it has a like a diagonal. It's a diagonal impression that has a wide end on one end that's kind of like facing up a little bit. So it's Enki and Enoch are not the same person. That's wrong right there. It's incorrect. So if that's one thing that's wrong, and that's one of the foundational principles of the doctrine over there, if that is wrong, if that is incorrect, how many other things are incorrect over there that you've bought hook, line, and sinker and taken somebody's word for it because they have infatuated you with big words and intellect? Have you read them books? That person hasn't even read them books. They've skimmed over them. They've read the ink on the paper. They haven't allowed. All those books have not been edified through the spirit, through the greatest of spirit. It's evident. If you know, you know. Yeah, Bluebird, Brother London, aka KJV, he will be joining. He will be coming on soon. Hopefully this strong end. Um, it's just that I'll keep it real with y'all because we all family here. Um, I have I have numerous. I gotta be careful how I say this on here. There's numerous places that I've acquired that I'm working on in the community, and the past couple weeks has been a lot of hands-on with the tribe and I getting things together. So it's been a lot of physical labor going on. Okay, of getting things together for the community. And this is the first moment that I'm sharing this with anyone. Okay, just one little part of it, but still, it's work. It takes work. Okay, so those that do donate and send Mooney, I know I talk down on Mooney all the time, Monopoly, because I do despise it. But those who send it, I greatly appreciate it because you get it and I get it. We both get it. As I said earlier, money is residue off of your spiritual assignment. That's all it is. It's like going down the highway and it's the air coming off the side of your vehicle. That's what money is. It's just a residue. So it's only there if it's going to be needed for certain things. That's it. And the whole community is not about us becoming Amish and not having electric. My son is I gotta be careful what I say on here. But if you know, you know, and you'll catch what I'm saying. My son has the knowledge to we will have electricity no matter what. So we're not moving off grid and gonna be like shoveling horse poop all day, no electricity, going back to like the medieval ages or something. We're gonna have everything. We're gonna have electricity. We're gonna have running water. We're gonna have plumbing. Everything that I've ever been through has been so set up by the Great Spirit. I used to do irrigation systems when I was younger. The man I worked for had a patent on from the Mississippi River over. He's the only person that owns this patent for a hydraulic system that is no electric, that runs simply off of hydraulic water pressure. And he's, as far as I know, his niece and I are the only ones he taught it to. And I still have that knowledge. And so we're going to have plumbing and everything that has nothing to do with electricity. I have all the knowledge of how to clean any water. It doesn't matter what they've done to the water, including their nanoparticulates. We can remove all that. Natural springs. There's one of the spots. Oh my goodness! If I show y'all pictures of this one, it's like we have waterfalls and everything in the woods. Natural waterfalls in the woods already at this property on the mountain. Can't share the location right now. There's natural waterfalls, something out of a freaking movie or like an AI picture or something. So like this is water. It probably does have bacteria in it, so we probably still have to cleanse it, but it's on the property, y'all. And we're gonna drill wells and all that too, but We already have waterfalls, just a small walk into the woods. Waterfalls coming straight from a spring out of a mountain. Same place these people, these parasites, are bottling up water and putting them in plastic bottles and selling them for $3, $3.89 a bottle. Is already on the land that's already been acquired. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, y'all. And as I said, a lot of you will end up being there. But those that aren't able to, I'm still here to teach you. Not I, the Great Spirit through I, is here to teach you how to do it. Doesn't matter if your community is just you and your household. 5 people, 4 people. But it's inspiration. And I will teach you as much as I know, as much as I'm able to, as long as I'm able to, on how to do it. Any questions you have, I'm here for you. I will show you. Okay? Now, if I was coming from the ego, I would say, is this person doing that? Is this person doing that? How come they're not doing that? See, that would be coming from the ego. You don't hear that coming from I don't sit and put people down and say, are they making communities? Are they doing this? What are they doing? They're in Vegas. You don't never hear that come from okay? So when I make a post about, you see what happened during this rapture? Same thing going to happen in 2040. Nothing. We're going to be in our community. We're going to be chilling. We're going to be already separated from Mooney and money and all that. We're still going to be living. We're still going to have electricity. We're still going to have everything that you need. All your loved ones are going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. By then, you're not even going to be thinking about no Phoenix event or pole shift or any of that, because you're going to be resonating so high, so balanced, so whole, back to the natural A-tone fully. Right now, you're connected. You're tapped in. I'm talking about fully, because you're going to be in nature. Nature is the strongest point of the A-tone. And for someone to call it a simulation, and then they'll use like things like predators and prey out here. You know it's a simulation because everything's based off loose. That's why the lion got to kill the gazelle. No, you know why that's happening? Because we've been tricked and indoctrinated to be live the same thing. It's just today it looks different. It's called something different today. At this moment, there's 200 and some thousand people that are calling it a simulation. All right? Before that, it was just called this world is evil and you're born into sin. And everything is evil, including the earth itself. And all that. No. What happened was they got us to buy into that with our God power, and we manifested it. We resonated at that frequency. We got most hijacked. Our frequency resonated. The harmonic energy went out of balance, and it goes even, it trickles down to the animals. So then the animals start hunting each other. Lions don't even have to eat meat. The biggest animals here all eat grass. The biggest animals on earth eat grass. Whales eat plankton and things. Yeah, they might suck up some guppies and little fish and things like that. But, it's really, most of their nutrients comes from, the minerals and things that are just already there in that part of the aether that we call the ocean. So the biggest forms of physical life here are not meat eaters. That's just like money is a side effect of certain things. That predator-prey system is a side effect of us resonating, being hijacked, our mind, our ment, which is really our heart, the mind of our hearts, into beliving something that is not true. And then we make it true because it goes from belief to thinking you know it, because now you're starting to see it because you believed it and you starting to attract it. So now you're starting to see these things, and now it crosses the line to now you think you know because you're seeing it, you're hearing it, and that's what happens. That's why I occasionally, it ain't even I just have the eye to see what it is. And when the grace of spirit occasionally puts it upon my heart to put out a message, a post like I did yesterday, I know why. It's just sometimes you need a reminder. Okay? Stop falling for the okie doke, y'all. Stop falling for it. The people that are like offend and take offense to it, you're the ones that may need to really take a step back more than anyone else, because if you're offending someone in their doctrine so heavily and you're getting offended off of one post, when the same person, from what I've seen, I don't know, I don't watch this person, from what I've seen, every single time that I've watched this person's video, they talk about so many people. They talk down on numerous people every single time I've watched them. But if Chief puts out one thing every couple months about someone's doctrine, all of a sudden it's a whole wave attack of a small group of people that start getting upset. As I've told you before, the truth is not always comfortable. Okay? The truth sometimes it can peel it back, the banana peel gently. Sometimes the truth gotta rip it off. And that's where posts come in like the one that I posted. Sometimes you cannot drink Kool-Aid every day with that nasty medicine that you gotta take or whatever. Not even medicine, herbs, wormwood. You taking wormwood. You can't, there's no way really to take wormwood and make it not bitter. But wormwood's going to remove that parasitic energy, attachment. That's the same thing as a direct comment, just cutting straight to it, no sugarcoating or anything. At moments it's needed. That doesn't mean I got to be on here and that becomes the MO and you start seeing, hold on, what's going on with Chief? Every single post, he's like going at everybody. Then you might want to consider what's going on with Chief. Something ain't sitting right. Seems like he's kind of changed up a little bit. He's like attacking everyone. Is that the case? No, it's not. Okay. I even had someone bring up, like, I shared with y'all because I love you. I even let you get little glimpses into my personal life. I showed a clip of our dancing and stuff the other night. As I've told you before, I'm a real chief on the land. I don't have to, but it's part of it. I go places. That don't mean I'm there getting fully intoxicated and all out of balance and this and that just because you see me somewhere. But I'm here in the land where the tribe that I'm a chief of one of the clans is originally from. So I am right now, I have been out and about as I should be. And there's a lot, that's a whole nother story. I shared a video of I having a good moment with some good brothers and sisters that know who I am. And I even had someone bring that up. Chief is falling apart before our very eyes. What does that mean? Falling apart? Because I showed you a glimpse into I having an enjoyable moment with those that I love, the same way I love you in the physical, and because it was placed on my heart to give you guys a reminder about not falling into idolatrous doctrine and religion that is growing and growing, and it's sucking more people in. And to be fair, it's not just archaics. Again, that's just a reference point for I, because it's what I know. It's like, have I read the Bhagavad Gita? Yeah, I've read the Bhagavad Gita. I've read the Egyptian book of Coming Forth by Day, which you know as, the Tamarian book of Coming Forth by Day, that most call the Egyptian Book of the Dead. But if I was on here referring to that all in these teachings, most people be lost. Therefore, to get the message across, I have to give you something you can also resonate with. And in this moment, I know that most people have been hijacked with the doctrine of the Bible, Biblicanism. Okay? And I also know that a lot of people that had learned from I have also, I don't want to put the label of indoctrination onto you. I don't want to project that on you. But you've partook in that doctrine over there. Okay? So I just want to make it known. It's not any animosity between I and the individual. It's about love that I have for us. Plain and simple. With that being said, hope you have a great day. I actually had some work to do at one of the properties today, but it looks like it's gonna be raining. I don't know how the day is gonna go. If it starts storming or something, then I probably will do a teaching today, like a real teaching. And Brother London, if you're still on here, if either way, if not, I'll reach out to you on email. Okay, brother. Yep. Appreciate you. I'm gonna reach out to you today, brother. And we'll chop it up, like really chop it up, and figure out this date and get it all squared away. To be honest with you, we'll talk, brother. But it could even happen this today, for real. Greatest the spirit willing, because I already know you ready, and I'm always ready. And I know you the same way. I know you've been ready. So, I'll be hitting you in a little bit, Brother London, so check your email. You already know. So, I love y'all. That's just a more elaborate explanation of the post that I posted, so you get a better feeling from where I'm coming from. Text messages and words and stuff are always read with the sound of your mind. So people are reading them with their mind and where they're at with it, their perspective, and writing can be taken the wrong way. So I've just felt the need to come on here and you hear it with more organic frequency, and you can feel the vibe a little bit more, so you can discern it a little bit better and truly understand where I'm coming from with it. That's all this was about. It's not about trying to escalate into some situation, okay? It was just using the rapture thing and something that I know most of you also are aware of with the 2040 thing as a comparison point. That's all it was. All right? And to just remind you all, be careful, full of care, and always ask yourself, what is the end game with this? When I'm sitting here listening to this person, what is the end game? What is this going to do for I and my family and those I love? You should be asking yourself that. It's not selfish. That's not selfish. That's just reality. Because it's your goal here is to fulfill your destiny that only you can fulfill, to touch and spark those around you that only you can get to. And the only way you can fully do that is to remember who you truly are, fully. And you are unable to do that if you're constantly mesmerized by someone else's doctrine. Like, especially if you're waiting on some kind of future date. Even if technically you're not waiting on it and you're just aware of it, it's now in your subconscious, whether you know it or not. So you might not be technically like dwelling upon it. You're just going upon about your day, and oh, Chief, no, it ain't like that. I just go over there, and I learn. I think it's interesting. Well, that means it's entertainment to you. Be careful with that meant and enter. Tain is to contain. Enter, contain your mind. Okay? When that same energy should be going inward, not outward. Okay? I love y'all. Hopefully, it would be great to do another teaching today. That'd be wonderful. So keep an eye out. They don't give notifications. It's not gonna be it would be like later on if it does happen. But yeah, and I'm really looking forward to Brother London and I coming on doing the teaching. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. But I love y'all. Have a great day. Stay with that positivity. Stay balanced with the give and receive. And and just be in the moment. Worry not. War not, worry not. You have authority over all. Okay? I love you all. As always and always. Mësët.